Hi there, welcome to the email template tutorial number 3. In my previous video, I show you how to make a single column HTML email template like this. In this video, I will recap this and I will show you how to add logos, how to make 2 column or 3 column layouts with your email template. This was our previous day exercise file. What we have done in previous day is adding the common CSS that we need in all of our email templates from our main blueprint file here. You can download the blueprint files and the exercise file from the previous lesson and going through its description box here. Let's open it on brackets editor. Before diving, I want to show you something. In our current layout, here you see when you click on command click or control click, then you will see something like this. This is our structure. This is the outer structure and this is the inner structure. Where in the code, you see the 100%. This area is for this whole structure and the 600 pixel here the inner table is the 600 pixel, that means this area. Note that HTML images should be 600 pixels to 800 pixels width. You can use a 400 pixel or 500 pixel width, but don't cross the upper limit, that is 800 pixels. So I want to show you something else first and then go to our column structure. Suppose you want to add black color to this area, to whole area here, and want to add some other area here where you will add white color as the background. In our current structure, what we have, the rows we made using table row tr, and here you see the tr. The tr is making the sections here. The tier, this tier is responsible for the banner. This tier is responsible for the first section, and the another tier table row is for this tier to this tier is responsible for this section. But we can have it with our table structure as well. Here is the tier structure you see that made the row, individual rows here. But we can learn how to use tables to make these rows. For example, we have the main table here, the full width table here. If we simply copy this table and paste it here, we added a new row with full this structure here, a new row, but this row is based on the table, not tr. So we can simply remove some contents here and let's see how it looks. Remove some contents from here and you'll see the same thing you see here, but when you open up the structure, you see these two are different. We used the table as the single rows. So if you want now, you can add black background here and white background here, or something like I'm showing you right now. The black background color code is 60 and the white background color is FFFFFF. So you can have it gray color like this. Sorry, it needs to be here. As we made our columns, as we made our rows using the table. Okay, so see this holds the black color and this is using the gray color. For our tutorial, we'll continue using the table row instead of the full table for making the individual rows. So I am undoing these changes. For a template need, you can use either the table or the row. Row is something cleaner than the table. Then table structure. If you want to use the table structure, then you have to repeat a minimum of this code or this code. So this code will be extra for all of your rows. Please note that HTML email have some HTML character limitation. If you cross the limitation, then it can be clipped in Gmail. So you have to try to make it as lightweight as possible or as short as possible to avoid such things. Or it can increase the load time a little. It can increase the spam chance a little if you use more codes or unnecessary codes. So you have to use clean and minimal code for your email template design. So now today's video I'll show how to add a logo section. Generally logo stays at the top. If we want to add a logo here, what we have to do is add a table row, add a table data, and then image. That's it. Let's check if the placeholder server is fine. For every images, you have to mention the width manually, height manually, and add some common styles: display block and border none. Here you have to add border 0 to, because some platform will ignore this. If we refresh our page, you will see the logo here. You can see the logo here. So we can add some spaces. How to make a space I have shown in the previous video. So this is the code for the spaces, the horizontal space. You can copy this and add top or bottom space here. If you want to center this, then you have to add a table around these codes. How to add a table around this code is td table, and the width here have to 200 pixel, as you don't want to make this full width but have it the same width of this logo and make it centered. So you have to write like this and add a code here, align center to center the table, and insert the logo code within it and refresh the page. It's centered. You can add more spaces here by changing this number. Okay, now let's make a two column section. Before that, I want to show how to add a space or margins or paddings at its side. We can copy some lorem ipsum text to make you better understand. Suppose we added this, and when you refresh, it touches the corner. It doesn't look very well. So you have to add some spaces here. But there is something you have to keep in mind, that you can add margin left or margin right, or add CSS padding left or padding right. But to notice that these CSS are not bulletproof, that means this is not supported on all platforms. To know which CSS is supported on which platform, you have to go the campaign monitor. So you can just search on Google email template CSS support, and you'll see a campaign monitor guide here, CSS support guide plus checklist. Here you can see which CSS code you can use. Margin, see the IBM Note, Outlook, Windows Mail, and some other platforms supports it, but lots of people using Outlook can have some issues, and IBM Notes doesn't support it. And what's about the padding? IBM Notes doesn't support it. Outlook have some buggy partial issues here, and Windows 10 have some bugs here. So to avoid all these things, there are other platforms like mail.ru or some other platforms that that's not so common, but which is necessary for some clients. So you can simply ignore the CSS and make some space using the table data, TD. What is TR and what is TD? Table row TR, that means this thing is a TR. This thing is a TR. The row is a TR, and the TD, that means table data. With table data, you can make columns, but with TR, you can simply add rows, but cannot add the columns. Adding column is possible using tier and table. Now we will add some spaces, that means add some small columns around it using the TD. How to add that? Tier. Let's add another section like the above. We can remove this one. We can remove this one. Now how to add some spaces I'm showing you. But first add a section here, then tier, add a row, TD. What is and NBSP? Some platform will ignore this TD if there is nothing inside the TD. NBSP is an space which will be shown as an empty space but will not be visible in the template. Here you can add two TD, two table data, and add the third table data. These two table data will make our two side spaces. How? You can add some width, suppose 50, and same for this. Let's see how it looks. We added it here. If you look like this, you can see the 50 pixels is here and 50 pixels is here, and inside here you will see big table data, that means this one. You can add your contents here right now. Table. Why I am adding an extra table here? I'm showing you. Because we have two types of text here. One is the headline and one is the body copy or smaller copy. So we have two types here. So we can add a table to make the flexible use of this. You could use the text headline and this separately the here like this, and you can warp it inside spam and add this text, this CSS codes here to make a very similar thing. Font to it 400, very similar thing, but I will not recommend this way, because if you want more space between the headline and the body copy, you have to add something like this, a horizontal space like this. There is no scope to use a horizontal line here, so to avoid this you have to add a table first, then you can add your this text here, and then you can add the spaces here. This will provide you more flexibility on the structure or the contents. So adding directly inside the TD here, you have to add a table and then this contents here. So how it looks now is this. You can add some spaces at the top 40 pixels suppose, and at the bottom here 40 pixels. We can remove our this portion and refresh the page. This looks great. Now let's see how it looks in my mobile screen. This is the mobile screen, and the 50 pixel here is a little big. In the desktop version the 50 pixel looks good, but in mobile device, if you want to modify this width, then what you can do is, if you see our media query, you will see something like em side space. The side space have some padding left or padding right, padding left and padding right here. You can either use this class and remove this from mobile. What it will do is, here you see the side space is 20 pixel and 20 pixels. So in mobile devices, instead of the 50 pixel TD, it will add some padding around it, 20 pixel and 20 pixel at right. Most of the mobile platforms like Gmail app, like Apple Mail, Samsung Mail, everything supports the padding CSS property. So you can use it, or if you want, let's see how it looks. You can hide this section in mobile, the 50 pixels in mobile. Instead you can add the class, so it will add the 20 pixels side spaces. How to hide this in mobile? You can simply add class em hide. The em hide is also in our media query here. I did not explain this media query in our previous lessons, because as we go forward we will use these classes and I can explain it with our next classes, so I do not explain it later. So em hide, this will do what is hide the area where you add this class in mobile device. In mobile device, the portions have this em hide class will be hidden. So I can add the em hide on both areas here, and you will see in mobile devices there's 20 pixel side spaces here now. the 20 pixels here. Now these purple areas you see around it is the padding, that means the 20 pixels. You have to use the developer tool or the inspector more to see the happenings here. The second option is you can simply divide it into 20 and 30, and here 20 and 30, and hide the 31 and keep the 21. The result is the same. The 20 pixels are here and 30 is hidden. So that's it for the side part. Now I will show you a very important thing, that is the columns. Let's add a new section here. Adding these things because I already show you how to add the side spaces and spaces and everything else. So I am just adding a section here to add two columns. There are two methods of adding the columns. First is adding the as td, and second is adding as table. Today I will show you how to use the td to make the columns here for two column section. In the next video I'll show how to use the tables. There are some pros and cons on td and tables, and for this we can use the hybrid approach that I will show you in the next video. So today I will make one using the table data td. Here's something I want to discuss is you can add the td here. That means you can add two td here to make two columns like this. But you have to keep in mind that if the adjacent table row does not have the 2td, you should avoid using the 2td here directly. Instead of this, you can add the table and then you can add tr, td and td. You should follow these things for all of your tables and all of your codes here. That means if you have one td here, you cannot add 2td here or 2td here or any adjacent table row. You can't add more than this. All the td numbers of the adjacent rows needs to be similar. If you have 2td here, 2td here, then you can add the 2td here directly instead of this. So as you have 1td, you have to add an extra table here. Sorry, I missed the td after the tr. Table td. Now you can add the contents inside it, but let's check. I'm adding this content and this content here. How it looks. The two column is made using the table data. You see the two column is here and here, and the side space is here. So we can add some inner spaces here. To add some inner spaces here, you can add another td and add nbsp, so it will not be ignored in some clients, and add some width here. Suppose we can add 30 pixels. So this is our today's structure is two column layout using the TD. Now what's for mobile? In mobile devices, the two column layout in very small devices will look odd like this, and it will make some readability issue. To get rid of this, we can have the two columns one by one. That means you can have this one at the top and this one is bottom. Let's add some colors to it. BGCOL FGO. This is a light background. F9, F9, F9. I added some background colors. I am adding some background colors so you can see the difference clearly. So how to make these things stack in the mobile devices? To make these things stack in the mobile devices, that means this one will be at the top and this one at the bottom. So what you have to do it in mobile device is making this area full width. That means 100% or 10% here, and this area at the bottom here 10%. So we have to go back to media query once more. You can see we have a class em wrapper2. That what it does, it makes the width 100% and max width 100% and display block is required for table data, and here is another em wrapper which doesn't have the display block. This one is for tables only and this one is for table data, that means TD. I will discuss the table approach later in next video, but for today we can use this em wrapper to this code, this class. So where we have to add this class is here, class. The same class will go here and can go here. Let's see how it looks. So this is now properly responsive. The responsive email templates are basically a multi-column section goes single column in mobile devices. There is some misunderstanding about the fact of responsive template. Some clients, you will find some clients that those you will meet some client who knows that the responsive design means they can click on the template. That is not responsive template, that is clickable template. Our template will be clickable too, but responsive means it will respond according to the viewer's display viewpoint, and how it will respond, it will be decided by the developer. Now we decided to have it one column at the top and one column at the bottom. The non-responsive template remains same in mobile and desktop devices. That means in if it's a non-responsive design, that means we can turn up our media query to show you the non-responsive layout, and you will see it will remain same on mobile and desktop devices, but this will not give you the proper view of a mobile device. If you send a test mail using this on a mobile device, you can see how it looks. In mobile device, this full thing will appear in your inbox and this text will become very hard to read. because of its constant width of 600 pixels. Once a 600 pixel template is shown in a 300 pixel display, the text becomes very small and it's natural and normal. So to get rid of this, we add the media query, and then the template responses to the display size and make it readable properly in mobile devices. How to make a test to your mobile devices? You can go to the pursmail.com, and here you can sign up. You are a first time user. I already have an account, so I can sign in here, and you can just copy the code from here, add your recipients, add a test subject line, and then paste your code, click on this or not, then click on I am a robot, and then can send a test mail. If you're a first time user, you will see a confirmation email in your junk or inbox or promotional or any other tab, and you have to confirm it that you want to receive the emails from the litmus push mail. Okay, so that's it for now. In the next video, I will show you how to make the structure using the table, and I will discuss about the pros and cons of the TD and table approach, and I'll show you the hybrid approach or bulletproof approach of making the columns here. Till then, have a great day. Don't forget to add your comments below if you have any questions. Thank you.